Well, I just wanted to show you guys my latest experiment and one that went very well, so I'm glad to share it. As you know from watching recently, I've been battling with some crystallized honey, and I've learned quite a bit out of the whole ordeal. I learned that I can make creamed honey on accident, which is good, and I'll probably do it again in the future on purpose, just because I think once it's creamed like that in the jar, it pretty well stays like that. It doesn't crystallize and get rough. Anyway, I had a couple people, that were still wanting liquid honey because that's what they're used to seeing, or it's just what they're used to working with. So I had one 5-gallon bucket. This is my last 5 gallons from 2014 harvest, and it was almost entirely solid crystallized. There was not even a half an inch of kind of runny, watery honey on top of the rest. Was a solid block of crystallized honey. Had my pail heater on it, the one that wraps around the outside, and I've bragged on that thing in the past, but honestly it's just, if the honey's already liquid, the pail heater works great. But with it being crystallized, I guess that pail heater's got a timer, or it's got an overheat something in it that it would shut itself off, and it just never could. I had it cranked up to 160 degrees on its on what the temperature said it would go to, and it still wouldn't budge the honey past room temperature. And I think it was just a heat dissipation issue. Like I said, I think the heater was just tripping out, saying, I've got an overheat signature, I can't get rid of heat fast enough, so it would shut itself off. Anyway, so what I found out today, I was just thinking, I got this crawfish pot. It's, I want to say a 30-quart turkey fryer or whatever. I use it for crawfish boils. And I just randomly popped into my head, hey, I wonder if a bucket would fit in that. And by golly, it does. It fits just perfect. It's got maybe a 1/4 inch of space around the edge. It fits in there just right, just enough that you can get a little bit of water in there. So what I did was put my water in, and in the bottom I put 2 layers of broken ceramic tile, and that was just to get the bucket up off the bottom so that the plastic bucket wasn't directly in contact with the bottom of the pan, because I've got it sitting on a gas burner. And so I propped it up, set the bucket in, topped off the water up to about 1 inch from the top, and I even stuck my thermometer in there just so I could keep track of it, and fired it up. And I got the temperature up. The thermometer got up as high as 130 in the water, and every about 10-15 minutes I would come by, got my drill with my paint stirrer, which paint stirrer is in here, but my drill and my paint stirrer, and I would give it a gentle stir. So it started off, of course, super thick. And for a long time, while I was working with it, it looked like it was going to end up being creamed honey. It was just really big crystals, but it was always getting softer and softer and softer. And finally, it got to where I don't see any crystals in it now at all. It's just like the day it ran out of the hive. So good looking, good runny honey, and I think it'll stay this way for at least a month. We'll see. I've got a jar on the counter that I did a few weeks ago that I heated back up in a pan of water, and it's still runny as can be. So hopefully it'll stay this way for a good while. But I did test, because some people are concerned, well, how hot did it get? The hottest the honey got was 110, which really is not that far off from, people saying, 95, 100, don't go past that. I consulted with a buddy of mine who runs a honey business and sells honey for a living, and he said you can go to 140 without it technically pasteurizing the honey. So again, I got to 110, nowhere near that 140 mark. And that's the important thing of using the water bath, so that it helps dissipate the heat more evenly around, and also stirring on a regular basis, so you don't get honey that gets scalded on the outside edge. Because with the honey being a denser fluid, more viscous fluid, heat does not conduct through it as quickly as something like water. So you can get hot spots if you don't stir it regularly, but I think it's just fine. Anyway, this was great. It worked out perfect. It was an impromptu idea. Hey, let's try it, and it worked flawlessly. So I just want to share that with you guys. If you do got a turkey fryer sitting around, hopefully it's one big enough you can throw your buckets in, and give it a shot. Didn't fail me today.